this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on.
Wait, what the is that?
What? I don't see. I've got a knife! I've got a knife!
Before we get into tonight's video, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Reaching 50,000 subscribers genuinely wouldn't have been possible without every single one of you watching, commenting, and supporting the channel. Whether you've been here since the beginning or you've only recently found the channel, your support honestly means more than I can put into words. To mark the milestone, I wanted to do something a little different. Tonight's video looks back at my own picks for the 13 most disturbing camping encounters ever caught on camera. These are the moments that stayed with me, the kind of footage that creeps under your skin, not because it's loud or dramatic, but because of how quiet and exposed it feels. This is my personal list, and unfortunately, I couldn't include every encounter that deserves a mention. But in my opinion, these are some of the most disturbing camping encounters ever captured. So grab a snack or some popcorn, get comfortable, and let's get straight into the first encounter. The first video of the night comes from the Northwest Wind, a US-based outdoor adventure channel specializing in stealth camping, solo backpacking, and off-trail survival. The channel is known for honest reactions and documenting situations where isolation turns unpredictable due to wildlife or human encounters. It is January 26, 2024, in a local park in the United States. The camper slips off the main trails and sets up a one-man bivvy in a secluded patch of woodland as fog begins to roll in. Darkness closes around the park quickly, dulling sound and visibility. Distant wildlife noises and the rustle of leaves break the silence as the camper prepares for what should be a quiet night alone.
Hello? All right, I don't like this. Hello? Hello? They're touching my tent. Stop.
As night fully settles, movement is noticed nearby. The camper pauses, unable to tell whether the sounds belong to animals or people. With visibility reduced by fog and no clear escape route in sight, the sense of vulnerability increases.
Walking away now. What do you want? What do you want? I have a knife. Where's my knife? They're f***ing with me. With me here. Holy crap, get away, what do you want?
Two unknown individuals emerge in the darkness. They whisper to one another while circling the bivvy, deliberately lifting the fly and pulling at the stakes. The shelter partially collapses, confirming the camper has been discovered.
They're pulling. Jesus Christ. They were pulling on my tent. They ripped the fly off. That's when I sat up, then they scurried. Okay, I'm back in the field now. I don't see anybody. I'd be able to see them.
With no safe way to remain hidden, the camper flees. He pushes through mud, thorns, and slick terrain, struggling to navigate in the fog while trying to reach safety. After several tense minutes, he breaks into a clearing near his vehicle and escapes the area. The following morning, the camper returns to recover his gear. The bivvy is disturbed and soaked, though nothing appears to be stolen. What lingers is not theft, but intent. The encounter highlights the risks of stealth camping in public spaces, not because someone found him, but because they chose silence, circled the shelter, and interacted with it without ever announcing themselves. The experience becomes a sobering reminder that in off-trail camping, the most unpredictable danger is often other people, and that vigilance and awareness are just as important as shelter and gear when camping alone. What makes this encounter so unsettling to me isn't just that someone found him. It's how they behaved once they did. Whoever was out there clearly knew the tent was occupied, yet instead of calling out or making their presence known, they chose to stay quiet and interact with the shelter directly. That decision changes everything. If they were harmless, there would have been no reason for the whispering, the circling, or pulling at the tent itself. In moments like this, it's the lack of explanation that becomes the real threat. You're left wondering who they are, why they're there, and what might have happened if he hadn't left when he did. And that uncertainty is what makes this encounter linger long after the clip ends. Before we move on, if you're enjoying the video so far, leaving a like really helps. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. We recently passed 50,000 subscribers, and that's entirely because of you. The next target is 100,000 before the end of the year. Ambitious, but worth aiming for. There's a hidden word somewhere in this video. See if you can spot it. Now, let's continue. The next horrifying video of the night comes from Uncharted Travel, a Canadian-based adventure and urban exploration channel hosted by Brennan. His content centers on high-stakes solo expeditions into remote off-grid locations, with a grounded focus on the physical and psychological toll of isolation, rather than exaggerated reactions. It is October 29th, 2022, at Mascot Mine in southern British Columbia, Canada. While navigating steep mountain terrain, Brennan realizes he has lost the trail and unknowingly crossed into the perimeter of an active mine. Industrial dump trucks are operating in the area, forcing him to carefully time his movements. He waits in cover, then sprints across an exposed section of ground, narrowly avoiding detection as a truck passes just meters away. Only after hiding in dense brush does he regain the correct route, reaching the abandoned settlement before nightfall.
You can feel the cool air coming from the mine. And oh my god, they put like people back there. That's so creepy. Well,
after setting up camp inside the settlement's office building, Brennan is jolted by his motion sensor activating with a cheerful "Hello, welcome" chime. Seconds later, a loud, heavy crash echoes through the building, sounding as though a large object has been thrown or fallen down the main staircase. Brennan confirms he is alone on the property.
that was a...
Back in his sleeping bag, the motion sensor triggers 3 times in rapid succession. The repeated chimes suggest something lingering or pacing directly in the doorway. Finding nothing outside, Brennan moves the sensor inside his sleeping area, now concerned that whatever triggered it may be inside the building with him.
What? I think we need to go investigate that because I know I closed all the doors, so that concerns me a little. Hearing a slam like that. I don't know if my camera picked it up. Unlock the door. Okay, I'm trying to be weary about noise discipline here. Or light discipline, because... It's not windy. all of these doors are closed. Well, except for this one, but this one's not budging. As you can see, it's like stuck there. It'd take a lot to move these ones. But it sounded like it was one of these doors. That's so bizarre, they're all closed. Like, this night just keeps getting weirder and weirder. I swear I just heard the lock click. I don't want to have any lights. I'm going to kill my camera. Check it out. I don't think there's anyone out there. It looked like there was light shining on the balcony, but I think it's just the moonlight. I really hope there's not someone creeping out there.
This expedition becomes one of Brennan's most psychologically demanding solo nights. Severe dehydration, exhaustion, and isolation compound the impact of unexplained mechanical sounds. Triggered sensors, slamming doors, and locking mechanisms in a windless environment. This location in particular makes me feel deeply uneasy. The isolation and remoteness mean that once he's there, and darkness sets in, leaving isn't really an option. That alone is unsettling. But what truly pushes this encounter into disturbing territory for me is the motion detector repeatedly triggering throughout the night. Each time that alarm goes off, it reinforces the sense that something is moving just beyond view. Hearing it again and again gave me genuine chills, because it's a reminder of how exposed he is and how little control he has over what's happening around him. The next chilling video comes from Venture Unbound, a UK-based outdoor adventure channel centered on solo camping and testing personal limits in semi-remote public woodland. His videos focus on real-time overnight experiences where isolation, atmosphere, and psychological pressure do most of the work. It is March 1st, 2025, in a woodland area within a public country park, United Kingdom. As evening sets in, the camper finishes preparing his bivvy beneath a tarp and cooks a simple meal of eggs and bacon over a small stove. The woodland grows steadily quieter, broken only by distant birds and the occasional owl call. Using his lantern, he scans the surrounding trees, commenting on how different and more enclosing the forest feels once daylight fades. What begins as calm preparation slowly shifts into unease as darkness settles in fully.
Looks like in the dark. This is what it's like when it's pitch black. This is what it's like when it's the lantern on. And it's very creepy. Like when you need to go to the toilet in the night, it's so spooky. Like you just see a random tree just dotted there, and it's so like, whoa. It's like a person stood there, but yeah, it's quite a creep.
While lying inside the bivvy, he suddenly realizes that someone else is sleeping nearby. He cannot see who it is or how close they are, only that he is no longer alone. The moment is brief, but it immediately reframes the night, replacing isolation with vulnerability.
Hello? I told you it's bumping it somewhere, so it's not really good.
Oh, come here, boys, together. Come together.
Yeah, but I don't want the guy to feel threatened at all, do you know what I mean? Yeah, leave him to it, mate, let's go. He's got a body cut, look, he's got a trail from there, look.
What do you mean? A trail from?
Look on the tree, that just looks like animals.
You're right.
Oh, sorry,
We just stumbled, my bad.
No, it's alright, no worries.
I
You're doing okay though. Tell you what, if you go down that way, there's like a bit of a ditch. Is there? Yeah. Like a bit of a straight. Just keep going. There's like it looks like a building or something. Oh, okay. Have a look at it. Oh, it's like a circular brick sort of thing. No, there's no worries. Good man. All right.
As the night drags on, heavy condensation forms inside the bivvy. Water drips onto his hands and sleeping bag, soaking his gear. Combined with the cold and the earlier disturbance, sleep becomes uncomfortable and restless, leaving him alert and on edge until morning.
In a strange sense, it's kind of nice that people are here. Even though I don't want people here, they seem friendly enough. They seemed, they were quite apologetic. They were like, really sorry for waking you up. You know, I was like, ah, it's fine, don't worry about it. Yeah, see you later. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna try and, well, I don't know, it might take me a while to nod off now that people are around, even though they're alright, they seem alright. And it's freezing tonight, really cold. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night. And
by daylight, the camper reflects on a night that was far more challenging mentally than physically. While the group of lads meant no harm and were apologetic, their presence was enough to expose just how vulnerable sleeping in public woodland can be. The bivvy itself becomes the biggest practical issue, with condensation turning rest into discomfort. Despite this, he highlights small positives: hearing owls through the night and waking to a calm woodland morning. The experience ultimately reinforces a hard reality of solo camping in public spaces. Isolation is never guaranteed, and the fear of people approaching while you sleep is not hypothetical. It can genuinely happen. This encounter gives me chills every time I watch it. Seeing how vulnerable he is, sleeping in a bivvy tent on the forest floor, really drives that home. When the group of people approaches and spots him, it's a stark reminder of how exposed you can be in woodland environments. Even though the encounter turns out to be friendly, it highlights a real and often overlooked risk. Anyone can wander into your campsite while you're asleep. That loss of privacy and control is what makes moments like this genuinely unsettling to me. The next shocking encounter of the night comes from the Flex Tapes, a UK-based exploration channel focused on abandoned and isolated locations. Their videos rely on real-time reactions, minimal editing, and the psychological tension that comes from being alone in decaying rural spaces, often brushing against the edge of the paranormal without forcing conclusions. It is February 13th, 2023, at a remote abandoned farmhouse on rural farmland in the United Kingdom. The explorer lies awake upstairs in a bedroom. He explains how isolation magnifies every sound, making even natural creaks feel significant. The bedroom door remains open as he listens intently, sensing a subtle shift in the atmosphere just before the first unexplained noises begin. tension peaks when he sees a man walk right past the doorway of the room he is in. Acting on instinct, he switches off all lights and stays completely still, lowering himself as quietly as possible. In total darkness, the fear becomes immediate and overwhelming, intensified by the isolation and the knowledge that someone is there.
See, I was hiding down, I slid down there as much as I could.
Right, so luckily I had no lights on, so that won't given away that anyone was in there. Maybe instantly just a farmer checking the place out, I don't know. I mean, you can't see it. I haven't bumped into anyone. It is dark out here. I know I've got my torch, but if I see someone now, I'm just an innocent walker, and I'm not in the house, so I'm pretty safe. So
He carefully exits the farmhouse under cover of darkness, moving slowly and listening as he leaves on foot. On the walk back to his car, several glowing eyes appear on a distant hillside. The moment briefly reignites panic before he realizes they belong to sheep watching from the slope above. Once safely away, the explorer reflects on how quickly fear took hold once he realized he was no longer alone. No direct confrontation ever occurs, but the psychological impact lingers. He admits staying overnight was a mistake and states clearly that he will not return to the farmhouse. What makes this encounter so unsettling to me is the setting. He's alone inside a random abandoned rural farmhouse, and in the middle of the night, he's suddenly woken by a man standing in the doorway, only a few feet from where he's sleeping. That moment alone is deeply uncomfortable. It raises questions that never get answered. Who the man was, why he was there, and what might have happened if he'd noticed him. It's that close proximity, combined with the complete lack of explanation, that makes this one linger long after the clip ends. The next video of the night comes from Brothers Wild, a UK-based wild camping and outdoor adventure channel centered on riverside camps, fire cooking, wild swimming, and unscripted trips into nature. It is September 5th, 2023, in North Wales, United Kingdom. As evening approaches, the brothers finish cooking steak over the fire and rinse their gear in the river. With daylight fading fast, they pitch the tent and gather firewood, noting there's only a short window before sunset. The campsite feels calm, but no longer completely isolated. Subtle movement along the river and in the surrounding woodland suggests others may still be nearby. As darkness begins to settle and visibility drops, the atmosphere quietly shifts.
So we're sitting here now and we're debating whether we should pack up or carry on, because that guy was a bit weird, wasn't he?
Well, he basically said, I come down, he came down, he was talking about all this random mad stuff, apocalypse and all this stuff, and then he started looking for diamonds in the water and said it was dinosaurs.
And the fact that he comes back here every night at 4 a.m.
And he said he comes here at 4, he stays here till...
Shortly before nightfall, a lone man with a dog approaches the campsite. Almost immediately, his behavior feels off. He begins talking about conspiracies, uncut diamonds in the river, dinosaurs, and claims he regularly stays in the woods until around 4 a.m. He repeatedly asks whether the brothers are staying the night. The questions linger, creating a growing sense of unease.
Yeah, but what's over there? What? What's up there?
Oh, oh! Filming a video and there was a shadow, right? And we thought, no way, right? And there was somebody there, standing there, or sitting there. What was he doing? He's by the trees anyway, crouched down, watching us. And I don't know how long he was there. It had to be that guy. It couldn't be nothing else. It had to be that guy, because we're not scared of anything like.
I was looking at this now, but it was probably him. He was just literally crouched down about 20 metres away, probably a little bit less, And he was
just staring at us.
Staring
Not
at
a
us.
fox, not a fucking sheep, nothing like that.
The figure suddenly runs off into the woodland. Movement can be heard, but nothing is visible. Deciding the situation no longer feels safe, the brothers quickly extinguish the fire, pack their gear, and leave the campsite late at night, navigating the forest with limited visibility. This video gives me chills because of how suddenly their sense of safety disappears. They're preparing to spend the night in a remote forest, thinking they're alone, when they realize a man is watching them from the bushes. In a setting like that, especially after dark, your comfort relies on isolation. The moment that isolation is broken, everything changes. It forces you to question who that person is, why they're there, and what their real intentions might be. That loss of security is what makes this encounter so disturbing to me. The next video of the night comes from Under the Weather, a UK-based solo wild camping channel focused on winter bushcraft, survival, and realistic overnight conditions. It is November 16th, 2022, in a remote riverside woodland, United Kingdom. As night sets in, worsening rain and mud force the camper to remain inside his tent. A nearby waterfall runs constantly, filling the woodland with steady background noise that masks anything beyond the immediate campsite. Inside the tent, he settles into a new winter sleeping bag, switches off his light, and prepares to sleep. He explains that the campsite is bordered by rivers on both sides, effectively cutting him off for the night, with no easy escape.
Hello? 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 Now the thing is, I'm kind of on an island here, so there's river on that side, river on that side. It's very hard to get down here if it's a human, that is. Hello? I've got a knife in here. I've got a knife. I've got a knife.
The stillness is broken by voices and laughter outside the tent. The camper immediately calls out, trying to establish whether someone is nearby. No response comes back, and the sounds fade just as suddenly as they appeared. More noises follow. He explains again that the campsite is essentially an island surrounded by water, making it extremely difficult for anyone to reach unnoticed. He acknowledges the reality of his situation, alone, armed only with a knife, and unable to leave in the darkness.
Hello? Hello? Jesus Christ. That. Hello? Heard that noise again. It sounds like somebody laughing outside, but it...
By morning, daylight reveals no visible signs of disturbance. The fire has gone out due to the wet conditions, and nothing around the campsite appears out of place. Despite finding no evidence that anyone was there, the camper reflects on how exposed and vulnerable the location felt during the night. This one captures a worst-case scenario for anyone camping. It highlights the fear that comes with knowing something or someone unknown is lurking just outside your tent, while the only thing separating you from it is a thin layer of fabric. That vulnerability and the lack of control that comes with it is what makes this encounter so unsettling to me. Before we get into the next clip, around 70% of people watching aren't subscribed. We're working toward 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you're enjoying the video, hitting subscribe really does help. All right, let's get back to it. The next video of the night comes from the Foggy Project, a US-based adventure and lifestyle channel, best known for DIY projects, van life, and outdoor exploration. It is August 13th, 2024, in a remote wooded mountain area in the United States. As night settles in, the camper finishes setting up his tarp shelter, laying gear out on the soft ground to stop it sinking. Visibility drops quickly, and the surrounding woods fade into near total darkness. A heavy sound is heard somewhere in the forest. At first, it's dismissed as logs shifting or the environment settling. Despite mentioning a distant camp miles away, the area feels isolated and unusually still.
There's something over there.
Documenting my experience and why I'm leaving. It's basically, it was all set up, it was getting dark, I had just gathered all the firewood. I had run back to the vehicle to grab my Carhartt jacket. Right about that time, as I sit down, I hear some noise. And I thought, could my keys have hit the chair a certain way? And as I'm thinking about it, I'm about to go about my business, then I hear behind me where the creek is, about only 50 feet, I hear a couple more loud crunches. And that's when I stand up and I just shine the forest. Of course the noise has stopped.
The crunching happens again, this time from a different direction. Having already scouted the terrain earlier in the day, he knows the area would be difficult to move through quietly, making the sound more concerning.
I sat there for a minute and I was just thinking, okay, do I go ahead with the fire? And I was like, I'm not scared right now, but I'm also thinking maybe I'm too close to the stream. That's going to attract the animals coming to get a drink. All that said, I decided to pack up camp. I was like, I don't know if I'll have fun now. Then the other one out here, and it was really dark back in these woods. Getting all packed up, and once I get out to the road, I just take a quick look up towards where the creek is, and this is where it gets terrifying. And I thought I had pressed record, but it was not recording. But anywho, I've got my low beam on at this point. I think I see something small. Maybe it's like a raccoon or something right there by the water. And as I hit the high beam, this is when I see it. I see something standing there on the side of the road, pretending to be a statue. Whatever this was decided it was just going to freeze, and then maybe I wouldn't think it was anything. But as I'm looking in that direction, I'm not even kidding, it looks like somebody dressed up in camo. And they've got their back slightly angled away. I'd say like at a 45 degree. They're standing there about 6 feet tall, looking like a human that I just caught that was probably sneaking up on me. That's all I can think. When I saw what it was, a human, and I kept the light on him for a good 20 solid seconds without saying anything. The fear just kind of washed over me because I'm thinking, what's gonna happen? Call them out like, hey, what are you doing? And they're all camoed out. Maybe they'll just say, oh crap, he caught me, now I'm gonna shoot him. I mean, we're out in the middle of the woods. They say that people are the ones to fear. It's not the animals. That is what happened, and eventually after the 20 seconds, he didn't move, he just kept standing there. So
Realizing the figure is likely a person rather than an animal, and unsure of their intentions, he chooses not to stop or confront them. As he drives away, he checks repeatedly in his mirrors. When he looks again, the figure has vanished. The camper leaves the area visibly shaken. Reflecting on the experience, he notes how different the outcome could have been had he stayed the night. What begins as a routine solo camping trip ends with the unsettling realization that, in remote wilderness, other people can be far more unpredictable and frightening than wildlife. Spotting someone watching you while camping in an isolated forest at night is unsettling enough. But realizing that whoever is there is deliberately trying to remain unseen, even wearing camouflage to blend into the surroundings, makes it far more disturbing. That intent changes the situation entirely. It forces your mind to start asking questions with no clear answers. Why are they watching? And why do they feel the need to hide? That uncertainty is what makes this encounter genuinely frightening to me. The next horrifying video of the night comes from Rickall's Outdoors, a UK-based channel focused on solo camping, survival skills, and immersive outdoor exploration. It is January 13th, 2024, in a remote woodland area in the United Kingdom, on public land near a working farm. As dusk settles, Rickall's Outdoors prepares his winter campsite. A small fire crackles as he arranges logs, checks his tent, and organizes his sleeping setup. He eats a simple meal by the fire, while the last daylight fades through the trees. The woodland is quiet and still, filled only with natural ambient sounds. The atmosphere feels calm and isolated, giving no indication that anything is about to change.
Lady's voice right behind me. Jumped up. I couldn't see anyone. Well, I'm back in the car, knackered. Yeah, I keep hearing these voices. First of all, I thought it was a cow, it was like moaning type sound. Okay, but then it sounded a bit odd. And then I was sitting in front of my tarp, just relaxing. I hear this like muffled sound from a woman going, like that. And I jumped up. I was like, what the hell? I was in.
Moments later, a series of moaning noises begins. At first, they resemble distant livestock, but the tone and rhythm quickly feel off. The sounds don't travel as expected, and he struggles to pinpoint their source, causing his unease to grow.
I wasn't sure. I was sitting there, eyes all around, and then I heard the man talking again, muffled sound. Halfway up, away from where I camped, looked back, and I could see like a glowing light, like a fire. I was looking, and there was like a white light as well next to it, like maybe a lantern or something. So I reckon it could have been just a couple camping doing the same as I'm doing, and I'm freaking out. But, you know, if I stayed now, I wouldn't got any.
Deciding it is no longer safe to remain, he packs up and begins retreating toward his car. The following morning, Rickles returns to inspect the campsite in daylight. The area appears empty, yet faint moaning sounds can still be heard in the distance. Reflecting on the night, he confirms leaving was the right decision. This video is a clear reminder that when you're camping, you never truly know who or what might be nearby once it gets dark. Hearing multiple voices coming from the bushes around him feels far too deliberate to dismiss as coincidence. For me, it also highlights how important it is to trust your instincts while camping. If something sounds wrong or feels out of place, leaving early is often the safest decision. That awareness and the choice to act on it can make all the difference. The next chilling video of the night comes from Ruben Mockery, a US-based YouTuber known for filming casual camping trips and outdoor hangouts using handheld cameras. It is May 26, 2010, in the United States, at an unspecified wooded lakeside area. The mood is relaxed and playful. Smoke drifts through the camera's view. Visibility is poor, and the surrounding woods remain almost completely black beyond the firelight and occasional torch beams. There is no sense of danger, just casual banter and preparation for the night.
Guys, there's something I seriously saw something over there. Tom, did you not see it?
Dude, there was something there for like 2
Jeremy, Trevor.
Dude.
It was over there.
Dude, whatever, man.
Man, dude, put some more wilderness fire. I am not going to sit here with this thing.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was there for like 2 seconds. Dude, it is probably
over there. Yes, right over there where you're shining the light, in that area.
Over there. I've ever seen before.
Yes, there was, Jeremy. But Tom and I both.
The tone shifts suddenly when one person notices movement near the tree line. At first, it's brushed off as a normal woodland animal, possibly something near the water. But more than one person insists they saw it, and that it didn't look right. Laughter fades, replaced by uncertainty.
Oh my God. What is that? That's it. That's it. Oh my gosh.
What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, crap. It's coming.
Oh my God.
Panic spreads instantly. Whatever was seen is no longer distant, and the group reacts with genuine alarm. The group abandons the campsite and rushes toward their boat.
Where's Tom?
Where's Tom?
Tom!
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 All right, dude. We got the boat.
He came over there.
We'll come get you, dude.
Tom! Tom!
Guys, I'm over here. Are you alright?
Thank God. Are you okay?
Dude, I think I lost it. I don't know. I think it's right behind me. I'm not sure.
What is it, dude? What is it?
I don't know. I couldn't
You need
what it was.
Jump. Come on, get down here with us.
You'll have to jump.
Come on, get not jump. This is too high.
Dude, if you don't jump, it's going to get you. You have to jump.
It's like, oh my gosh, stop!
Tom suddenly reappears, yelling that the thing was right behind him. With no time to think, the group tells him to jump into the lake. Despite the height and danger, he jumps, hitting the water hard and swimming toward the boat as the others shout encouragement.
There it is. That's it.
Dude, why does it keep chasing us?
I don't know. Oh my goodness. That is,
Dude,
oh my
I think it's about
gosh.
to jump in the water. Are you serious?
Oh my gosh!
Go!
What the heck? It's chasing the boat, Tom! Go!
What begins as a casual night of camping collapses into chaos within minutes. The footage captures raw panic, friends fleeing into the dark, losing one of their own, and believing an unidentified presence chased them from the woods to the water itself. This video, being nearly 16 years old, makes it feel far more unsettling to me. At the time it was filmed, editing software and technology were far more limited, which makes what we're seeing feel more believable. What adds to the unease is the fact that the channel never uploaded again, leaving the footage without any context or follow-up. That alone raises uncomfortable questions about what they might have encountered that night. And seeing those red eyes tracking them through the darkness is enough to make anyone feel genuinely uneasy. The next shocking video of the night comes from Creepy Outdoors, a US-based channel focused on solo paranormal exploration and unsettling nighttime encounters in remote outdoor locations. It is October 26, 2022, in a remote forest in the United States. Camping alone deep in the forest, the creator steps away from his campsite with only a flashlight for visibility. The woods are silent, apart from distant natural sounds, and the darkness feels complete. Although nothing appears out of place, the stillness creates an underlying sense of vulnerability as he moves cautiously between the trees.
Oh, oh, hi.
What the hell? I need to get out of here. Oh boy. Oh. Okay. That was f***ing creepy. I need to get out of here. Whew. Okay. talking about Wishblair Project.
Without warning, a blood-curdling scream echoes through the forest. I see you. The voice is loud, clear, and impossible to pinpoint. Creepy Outdoors freezes in place, stunned by the suddenness of the sound and struggling to determine which direction it came from. Shaken and disoriented, he attempts to make his way back to the campsite. The forest now feels hostile rather than quiet. Every shadow seems closer, and familiar landmarks are harder to recognize. Although the scream does not repeat, its presence lingers, amplifying the fear as he carefully navigates the terrain, nearly losing his bearings multiple times. The tension becomes overwhelming, and he abandons the exploration entirely, deciding to pack up and leave the area. The idea of being isolated in the woods at night, surrounded by darkness, with only a single flashlight, already puts you at a disadvantage. Being disoriented and unsure of your surroundings makes it worse. But hearing a woman's voice calmly call out, "I see you," from the darkness, without any clue who or what is out there, is enough to make anyone panic. That moment genuinely sent chills through me, because it strips away any sense of control and leaves nothing but uncertainty. The next video of the night comes from Will Countryman, a US-based creator who documents casual outdoor exploration and remote camping trips. His footage is raw and unfiltered, capturing spontaneous reactions as events unfold rather than staged encounters. It is November 1st, 2021, at a remote woodland campsite in the United States. The video opens with a small group gathered around a campfire deep in the woods. The mood is relaxed and playful. They joke around the fire, talking about primitive survival techniques and laughing at the simplicity of the setup. Firelight throws long, shifting shadows across the surrounding trees, while beyond the glow, the forest disappears into complete darkness. At this point, there is no sense of danger, just casual banter and an easy atmosphere.
No.
When is this blackout? Like your imagination plays tricks on you.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, what the heck? Hold on.
No.
Wait, what the what the is that?
What? I don't see.
What the
Wait, what the
hey,
are you
there's
okay?
something, what the Maroon? Like...
The tone shifts abruptly when one member notices movement at the edge of the clearing. In the darkness, a large, bear-like shape appears partially obscured by trees. Poor visibility and flickering firelight make it difficult to identify clearly. As the shape advances toward the camp, their dog suddenly jumps up and begins barking aggressively in its direction. The reaction is immediate and intense, confirming that whatever is approaching is not just a trick of the light. Shouting breaks out as the figure closes the distance. The video cuts out abruptly mid-reaction, offering no explanation and no resolution. This video is unsettling in how unexpected it is. The moment the figure approaches feels completely out of place, and it immediately raises more questions than answers. Even the way the dog stands up and barks at it seems too real to be fake. There's no context, no explanation, just a sudden shift that leaves you feeling uneasy. It's the kind of clip that lingers and leaves you with genuine goosebumps. The next video of the night comes from Noah, a US-based outdoor and camping content creator who documents solo trips, truck camping, and personal experiences in remote locations. It is April 20th, 2020, near Sun River in the United States, at a forested roadside pull-off. Noah explains that he hadn't planned on filming anything and didn't have his usual setup with him. A few days earlier, he had pulled off a quiet forest road near Sun River to sleep in his truck for the night. The area appeared empty and still, and he believed he was completely alone.
I'm currently sleeping in the back of my truck right now. I don't even know what time it is. And there's someone walking around my truck right now. If you can hear that, it's pretty loud. He's been walking around for like 20 minutes already. My gun's in my cab though. I don't really know what to do. I'm a little freaked out right now, and it's like pitch black outside, probably like 2 in the morning, and he just keeps walking around, and he's like really close to my truck. I've never been this scared, and like this doesn't make any sense because I parked somewhere where you couldn't see, no one was on that road. Wait, he's touching my truck. He's literally touching my truck. How am I supposed to get him away? He's literally knocking. He's literally knocking on my truck. The canopy, the back door's locked. I've never been this scared before ever. I don't think he knows that there's anyone in here. I'm so scared right now. I wish I brought my gun back here. He keeps walking around. I don't get it. I'm like, how is he not have noticed? Doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna try to see if he goes away eventually. We'll see. He's literally peeking through the door right now. I've never been this scared ever. So, the current time is 2:30 in the morning right now. He's still walking around my truck. I'm gonna try to see if I can flash my light to get him scared. So he runs away. There he is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think I
After returning home the following day, Noah notices marks on his truck that were not there before. Handprints and scratches are visible along the side of the vehicle, indicating someone had been touching and moving around it while he slept inside. On closer inspection, more handprints are found near areas where someone would naturally try to look inside. Noah points out marks that suggest the person may have attempted to access the vehicle. He notes that the rear canopy was locked, which may have prevented entry. As the extent of the markings becomes clear, Noah reflects on the night. Seeing physical evidence in daylight confirms that the encounter was real, not imagined. This video highlights just how vulnerable car camping can be. When you're sleeping inside a vehicle, the only thing separating you from whatever's outside in the dark is a thin layer of glass. Waking up to find a stranger attempting to access the vehicle while you're inside is deeply unsettling, and it's more than enough to make anyone think twice about car camping, especially in isolated areas. The last video of the night comes from Walk with Wallace, a UK-based hiking and walking channel documenting countryside routes, remote locations, and real-time family adventures across Scotland. It is November 2nd, 2021, in rural Scotland, United Kingdom. Wallace sets out with his dad and uncle, traveling from Edinburgh toward a remote bothy. Heavy rain has fallen throughout the day, and other walkers at the car park warn them that the rivers ahead are dangerously swollen. Despite the warnings, the group decides to continue and assess conditions themselves. With darkness approaching and water levels rising, uncertainty sets in before they even reach the first crossing.
We're at the first river crossing and it's not looking very good. Definitely going to get wet feet. And this is just the acid test, the bigger river crossing. But I was parking the car and I managed to drive it down a ditch
I was like, oh no, here we go, and it's my uncle's car. But fortunately I managed to push it out, so we're back on the go, heading for this hut, and hopefully there's nobody there, because if there is, we'll just need to turn back.
At the first river, the reality becomes clear. Water is already high and fast moving, forcing them to step directly into the current and soak their feet. Abandoning the initial plan, Wallace switches to a backup option, a nearby forest bothy.
Then some guy came in, saw us, says he'll leave us to it. I don't know if you can see that, he's locked us in. There's a hole at the other side and I'm trying to get that pen through. And it's just no quite, pen's not strong enough, it's just a wee bit too high.
What about the spoon, Robin?
Aye, give me the spoon.
Right beside you.
So I've got a spoon. No, it's just, that hole's not high enough, we're locked in.
The spade there.
Ah, but what's the spade going to do?
Well, I'm getting there.
Can you get your fingers in there? Told you could break it down, Robin.
Never broke it down, you.
Well,
Just
I
jimmied
told
it.
you we could get it open.
Early the next morning, with daylight and calmer conditions, Wallace's dad and uncle wake him and prepare breakfast inside the bothy. Visibility has improved, and the group sets out again. This time, they successfully cross both rivers, using a fallen tree to make the second crossing safer. They finally reach the bothy they couldn't access the night before, bringing the trip to a steady, positive close after a night shaped by weather, setbacks, and uncertainty. The fact that a random man came to the bothy and locked it is deeply unsettling. Whether he knew they were inside or not, the idea that someone secured the door and then left raises uncomfortable possibilities. It leaves you wondering where he went, whether he was still nearby, and why he felt the need to lock it in the first place. That sense of being sealed in, with no answers, is what makes this encounter so eerie to me. We appreciate you for watching. If these creepy encounters gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next drop. There's always another mystery waiting just around the corner.